Okay, so the golf cart and the engine, and let's zoom in here. And what you see, if you can see, is that breadboard in the middle, which is taking the 0 to 5 kilo ohm here, and the breadboard pulls off the battery. Zoom back here. The breadboard pulls off the battery, so you can see it, the red wire there. One goes to 0 volts, and then we've got red wires going to the controller. I don't think I can, there, that'll autofocus. It's hooked up to the controller. What the breadboard does is it takes the 0 to 5 kilo ohms, it takes a voltage from the battery and converts it to 0 to 5 volts. So I'll see if I can show you the breadboard later after I take the tape off. Oops. Since there's 6 volts going into the breadboard, I have an extra kilo ohm resistor in there to help take the voltage from 0 to 5 volts. So you can see that it works if I zoom out here, and I also had to rig up a little electrical connection to turn on the battery. So now the voltage is going to the little thing there. I'll turn the key on, and let's see. So we'll watch the cart go ever so briefly. Okay. So you see the 0 to 5 volts is working. I'm going to take this breadboard out, and we will put the whatever this thing is that I rented to change the settings on the controller. So I'll pause for a minute. And we're back. Alright, so here's the breadboard that I pulled out, which I mentioned maybe we'd see the circuitry, but we're not going to. But you can see the 1 kilo ohm resistor on there. Alright, so I'll just set that off to the side here. You can see the 2 connections from the 0 to 5 kilo ohm pot are now going to be ready to plug into the controller. Get my light to shine down here on that. Yeah, so there's the controller. They're ready to plug down in there. But first, we need to plug in and check the controller out. So this is the unit that I rented. And I get everything in one hand here so I don't drop anything on the electrical connections. I'm not really sure how this thing works. I'm going to plug it in. The manual is kind of nondescript, but I see that's how you align it. Plug it in, and I'm hoping there's some means to turn it on. I guess I need to power it up. So there's the key, and it's on, and sure enough, I now have a signal on here, which is probably not going to show up too well, but there. Alright. Let's go into program, voltage, current, speed, throttle, 36 volt system. Alright, so let's set the throttle. In the throttle, I've got type, deadpan, max, map, and max speed. So let's go to throttle type. And I'll have to go look up, I'm assuming I want throttle type 1. It's currently on throttle type 2, but instead of making an assumption, I'm going to put this to the side and go look up in my manual to see what I want to set it on. So pause and I'll be back. And we're back. Glad I went to look that up. We want throttle type 0 to 5. So, will it focus? Okay, alright, so program, throttle type, it's currently at throttle type 2, we don't want 1, we want 0. How do I set it? Program, throttle type. Ah, there we go, throttle type 0. Oops, sorry. Okay. So we're at throttle type 0. Let me just come back and check and make sure that's stayed. Yep. And curious about the speed. Yeah, I don't know what this. I think I know what that means, but I'm not going to play with that. Okay. Why is it set at 48 volts? You kidding me? Was that set wrong too? No. I gotta go look at that. I'm assuming I want that to be 36, but it looks like it was programmed wrong. That's HPD. Current 325 amps. I think that's right. $36. Now let me go see what this voltage is supposed to be set at. And I'll take a look at that, but then I'm going to hook up the contacts, which, yeah, are currently not hooked up. Put those in there, and then this thing should be ready to go. Alright, here we are. I don't know what we can really show here to show movement. We're sitting in the garage. I've got everything hooked up. I'm going to test it. I'm going to turn it on. Okay, that works. And I'm going to okay, it works. Okay, well, I don't know if you can see that we're moving or not. You can kind of see the floor moving there. Okay. So now it looks like it works. We're set for, I gotta go take it for a test drive, but gotta unplug my lights and that. We should be good to go. So it's now set for 36 volts, 0 to 5K potentiometer, and that's it. And the final note is the invoice or packing slip. That's just a packing slip, so I'll need to get a copy of the invoice from the email. So.